Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Welcome into college football pregame here on CBS Sports HQ. We've already seen a lot of upsets, more to come, I'm sure. I know you're on edge, thinking your team may be the next one to fall, but don't worry, we're going to guide you through it all. And who is the we here? We've got Danny Cannell, we got B-Mac, Mackenzie Brooks here, and look at here, we got Cardale Jones.
Another quarterback.
You know, Ohio State was on a bye week. You had some joining us here.
Why not come and hang out with the best crew of all the sports?
Yeah.
Right here,
Wow.
You know, so I'm looking forward
Don't
to
make
it.
us
You know,
blush. That's a lot of expectations going into the day. You guys ready to live up to it?
Yep. Always.
All right, let's go ahead and tell you what is happening today in college football. Starting things off with a battle of offense versus defense when Lane Kiffin's high-flying attack takes its show on the road to face Brent Venables' stingy defense. B-Mac, what happens?
Well, this is going to be an outstanding game. Number one, can Ole Miss protect Trinidad Chambliss? When you look at Oklahoma, they're averaging around 4 sacks per ball game. They've been dominant against any opposing offense. And then when you look at John Mateer, 2 games since returning from that injury, we haven't seen the John Mateer-like production that we saw in the first month of the season. When you look at, he's averaging around 170 yards through the air, a combined 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He hasn't found his rhythm. Can he get his rhythm going today against the Rebels?
Meanwhile, Heisman, playoff, SEC championship, all things we regularly discuss when number 10 Vanderbilt hosts number 15 Mizzou. Danny, it's the Why Not Us Bowl in Music City.
No doubt about that, Emily. Nashville is on fire right now for this football team. And guess what? They are a really good football team. Got their signature win last week against LSU. Now you got to do it again against Missouri, a team that I look at that has really struggled since their schedule has gotten tougher. In large part, they haven't been able to run the football as much with Ahmad Hardy, and Bo Prabula, their quarterback, has struggled as well. They're coming off a double overtime win against Auburn. They better be ready for a dogfight, or else this might be Vanderbilt's day.
Well, one of 3 ranked v. ranked games in the SEC today. Texas A&M at LSU. The Aggies are the only undefeated team in the SEC, but Cardale, what kind of fight can the Bayou Bengals put up at night in Death Valley?
You know what? Not too much of a fight when you can't run the football, and A&M is one of the best teams of stopping the run already versus a struggling LSU team who can find their groove on the ground, and then you flip on the offensive side of the ball. Marcel Reed is playing some of the best football of any quarterback in all of college football.
On CBS, Minnesota and Iowa, both teams squarely in the Big Ten title race, but that's really secondary when the Bronze Pig is on the line. So what can we expect when these 2 bitter rivals square off?
Emily, why am I talking about this game? This should be BMAC all day. We need a defender on this one because this one is going to feature some defense here. Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator for Iowa, one of the best in the business. And once again, Iowa has a very clear identity. Minnesota trying to back up that upset off Nebraska and shock the world again.
All right, how about Michigan, Michigan State. Not sure if you heard, these teams do not like each other. We'll take you back to 2018. You're seeing it. Devin Bush showing us how he truly feels about that Spartan logo. Guys, it's also the 10th anniversary of Trouble with the Snap. That one went the way of State. But Cardale, this rivalry has brought us some fantastic moments in the past. How about today?
Some really good moments. A lot of bad blood between these two programs and the history dating all the way back when they used to vote for who goes to the Rose Bowl. And Michigan State they voted for Ohio State to go over Michigan. And Michigan found out about that. And that's where the bad blood started. But I think this is another chapter in that historic rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State. And Michigan is playing some really good football right now with that young quarterback, Bryce Underwood. I think this is going to be another win for these guys.
Elsewhere in the Big Ten, Indiana trying to keep its perfect season rolling against the Cinderella Bruins. You've got Northwestern. They're 3-1 in Big Ten play and an underdog, though, against Nebraska. BMAC, you see this lineup. What stands out?
A very, very entertaining lineup, but I'm looking at Illinois traveling out to the Pacific Northwest against Washington. When you look at both teams, currently both teams have 2 losses. This is an intriguing ball game. Damon Williams did not have his best effort last week against Michigan through 3 interceptions. I think he's going to get back on the good foot with his offense. And then when you look at Illinois, the 2 losses, they have not been able to run the football. Can they run the football better against the Huskies?
As Tom Fornelli will tell us, those 2 losses were to the number 1 and number 2 teams in the nation. So look out for the Illini. We're about to talk some games of consequence as it pertains to the CFP, but some other ranked teams in action today. What intrigues you here?
Let's go all the way down to the bottom, the second to the last game. Texas going to Mississippi State. We haven't really talked about the Longhorns as of late, but what they've done is finding ways to win ball games. And get this, mathematically speaking, they still have an opportunity to get into the playoffs. If they can win this game today, which is very, very important, look at what they have going the rest of the way. Vandy, UGA, and Texas A&M. If they can find their stride on both sides of the football field, there's a good chance that Longhorns could make a strong case to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, Texas is one of the 41 teams still alive
41.
in
and
the
people
CFP.
said don't expand. We don't want expansion. This has been the best thing for the sport.
It seems to be going all right. A lot of that is teams still in their conference races, but only 12 will get in when it's all said and done. Sportsline sees it like this. Notre Dame is in. Missouri is in, but as Mackenzie Brooks told me, that 10 seed really more of a placeholder for a handful of teams on the bubble. And once again, a lot will be learned today, which is why we have aforementioned Mackenzie Brooks here at the desk with us, because we're talking playoff here. Ole Miss is in this projection. They've obviously have a huge one today against Oklahoma. So what's at stake when they square off at noon?
So this is a team, specifically Ole Miss, when you look at strength of schedule, they have to be 10-2. Like, we literally have them hard-coded. If they go 9-3, they're completely out of this picture, given the strength of schedule they have right now. So obviously a win here is one step closer to that. So this is going to be clearly one of their harder games for the rest of the season, but this really does become a must-win for this team.
Danny, you think this is 10-2 team?
Yes, I do. What I think is really interesting is if they lose this game and they go 10-2, what's your best win? Where almost if you win this game but you lose to Mississippi State in a rivalry game, is that actually a better case scenario?
Right.
Now, it would be fresher in the minds of the committee because it would have just happened. But as a totality of a resume, I think you'd rather see a better win than a loss in a rivalry game. But I think this is why I think today is so important for Ole Miss, because I do think if they win this one, I think they're almost a lock to get in.
And I don't even think that's necessarily making the SEC championship. Like, we have that being Georgia, Alabama right now because they do have marquee wins. So that might just be Ole Miss taking that 3rd spot, potentially that 4th spot, if we want to dance around and talk about a potential 5th spot, which actually, as of this week, doesn't seem as likely. When Miami goes down and shows parity in the ACC, it actually helps the ACC because now we might have to take them and another team. So if you're ACC, you're team parity. And that means for the SEC, instead of getting 5 teams, you could potentially get 4 now.
And that Egg Bowl is at Mississippi State, too, which would also help that. How about Oklahoma, though? Must win, you say, for Ole Miss. It feels similar with Oklahoma, right?
It's such a shame all season with Oklahoma. Like, we love this team, and we have them power ranked so high. That schedule is just absolutely nuts. Even if they win today, okay, you go at Tennessee, you go at Bama, you play Mizzou, you play LSU to end the season. So we have about a 20% chance to make it right now. If they win today, that goes up to 30. But then it's like, you still have to win out all those games. Like, they're just in such a difficult position this year. So again, a very highly ranked power team for us, power ranking, but the schedule really just takes them out. You look at that number 10 spot down there in the bottom left with Mizzou. Whoever wins this Missouri-Vanderbilt game is certainly in that driver's seat to be the 10 seed. Now, that 10 seed is also a competition with a second ACC team. So that 10 seed right now is a dance between a 5th SEC team and a 2nd ACC team, or potentially a 2nd Big 12 team, but that's a whole other situation to unpack.
Can I just say something? Just a little small thing about Oklahoma's schedule with all those brands on there. They're so tough. Tennessee almost lost to Arkansas, right? Missouri, I think, is a little bit fraudulent. Alabama's the only team on there that I think is a true, like, wow, like they cannot win that game. All those other games, LSU is probably going to be out of the top 25 at the end of the season. Missouri, we just talked about them. Like, so I think today is imperative for Oklahoma, obviously, to win that game. And even Ole Miss, I get it's a brand and it has that magical number 8 in front of it, but we were just talking about their resume not being that great. I think this is doable. I think it's manageable for Oklahoma.
And see, that's the narrative that they're throwing with the SEC. Because if you look at Mizzou's overall resume right now, would you still have the same value with them if they were in the Big 12 or the ACC? I think just being tied to the SEC really helps a lot of teams. And that's the case with Mizzou because we haven't seen them go against a legit contender, in my opinion. We will see that today. But in terms of what they've done thus far, they've won the ball games, no question. When you talk about being one of the best teams in playoff contention right now, I think Mizzou is just in that category because they're in the SEC.
They lost to Bama. Like, that's their best resume builder. And it was close. Although it wasn't that close, there was a late touchdown that made it look close.
And Bama was the first legit competition because before Bama, it was an easy gauntlet.
We're still learning a lot about Missouri, too. They went on the road for the first time last week and had to go into double overtime to win that game. Once again on the road today, as you mentioned, this matchup. What's at stake for both of these teams? It feels like a big swing game either way.
Yeah, you really completely take yourself out of the driver's seat if you lose this game today. We have both of them going to under a 15% chance. Again, if you win today, that puts you in that 5th spot placeholder because you'd think, yes, automatically they're going in, but the way we see the rest of the season, going out, I don't think either of these teams are finishing 10-2. So that's why we don't have them as strongly in the playoff as a Texas A&M and as a Ole Miss because we don't foresee them finishing with a higher than 9-3 schedule. But I will say whoever does win today, you can hope Notre Dame eventually loses. You can hope Miami loses again. We only get one ACC, one Big 12, etc. Then you're in this 5th placeholder spot here.
Yeah, and there's some teams in the Big 10 that might be interested, some teams like a Notre Dame, as you mentioned. But what does our Big 10 guy think about this SEC perception? It's still shocking to me to see this graphic, number 15 versus number 10.
Yeah, I think it's the most frustrating part when you talk about college football these days is we're talking about the quality of losses. That's not a real thing, and it sucks that it plays into the factor of who's getting in. The name of the game is to win your games. And we looked at that projection right now with Notre Dame being 6th in this college football playoff ranking. What quality win would they have? I think USC blew that. Now when they face off, their schedule is not even as strong when you talk about running the table. Okay, the next quality opponent that Notre Dame has, if they was to win this game, and it's not even a lock for me to win that Navy game because the way Blake Horvath is playing and the way they can run the ball and the way that Notre Dame is struggling on stopping and running the ball consistently, the brand recognition has to go out the window with some of this stuff sooner rather than later because we're talking about quality losses versus win the football game. That is the name of the sport. You need to win and beat your opponent no matter who they are, no matter where you at, each and every week versus, I just lost by this much.
And see, that's the thing that annoys me with the college football playoff mindset. When you look at how the NFL does it, it's about winning, to Cordell's point, regardless, winning. But with college football, they didn't win, but they almost win. They almost won. It was a tough loss, but it was a good loss. There's no such thing in the NFL as a good loss when you're trying to get to the playoffs and hoist that sticky Lombardi. Win the games you're supposed to win, and you don't have any issues if you're not in. And for college football, it was a good loss, or they didn't have this player. So let's take in the fact if they would have had the starting quarterback, or if the quarterback was healthy like John Mateer was not against Texas, maybe they would have won. You take all of that into the consideration when I think it has nothing to do with the product on the football field. NFL has the best playoff landscape, in my opinion. win. To get into the tournament,
It's
you
that
know
simple.
exactly what you have to do every year, and the same can be said for college football.
The problem is it will matter, though, this year because the College Football Playoff Committee is going to emphasize this strength of schedule that includes.
I wonder who that
Well, the
benefits.
strength of, you're talking about the strength of schedule, but if you're saying, hey, I had a tough schedule and I only won 4 games, I should be in it.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
And I think what's really trying to happen, if you look at the first year Georgia won the College Football Playoffs, they played TCU, and it was a complete shellacking. But TCU had earned the right to be there because they won all their games up until that point. But the product on the field wasn't the product we used to see in it. I mean, you would argue Georgia had probably
But TCU
4 games before that was a lot tougher than that national championship
And that game got lopsided. That championship game was horrible for college football.
It
But
was so
remember,
good.
TCU did.
It's my
you
senior
love that.
year.
But TCU did beat Michigan. Like they did
Yes.
earn their way
They earned
into
their
the
way.
title game, and they did have a really good regular season. So the system, it does feel broken. It's a beautifully flawed sport that we cover. Until we get a true playoff instead of this beauty pageant, I think it's always going to be that way.
I mean, we can have this discussion for days on end,
Yeah.
especially with our Knoll boys there on the end. I think you guys have some opinions about the college football playoff. But how about the coaching carousel? With the Florida job officially open, all eyes now shift to Lane Kiffin and what he will do. What should he do? Put on your Jimmy Sexton hats. We're talking Kiffin next.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates
That is a rookie mistake.
or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh man, this is awesome. The power. Oh my goodness, what a performance. They're underway, and there's a massive clash at City On. Superb finish. Pull inside. Unbelievable strike. And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Who is Florida's next head coach? If you ask any Gators fan, it's Lane Kiffin or bust, but he's not available at the moment. Kiffin is taking his Ole Miss team to Oklahoma today, but he is reportedly the main target for Florida's next head coach. Florida brass has been, quote, vetting him. As a Tennessee fan, feel free to call me. I'm happy to give you my 2 cents. But as for the hire, And here and now, per Molly McGrath of ESPN, Kiffin addressed the rumors with his players ahead of this game, essentially telling them, this is what happens when you win, thanking the team for putting him in this position, essentially. But B-Mac, what can you possibly tell your team about all the rumors that are swirling to make sure that this is not a distraction in this massive game?
I think Coach Kiffin handled it as best as possible. He didn't say, I'm staying or I'm leaving. He said, this is what happens when you win. And we all know when you win, everybody gets opportunities. Players are dealing with that right now, currently on the Ole Miss team in terms of the NIL landscape. A lot of guys probably getting more autograph signing acts. You talk about appearance fees and things like that. So the prices increases for everyone. So for Coach Kiffin to handle that, I love that, because if he said anything else outside of this is what happens when you win, you can't trust it. Because we've seen coaches tell players, I'm not entertaining those rumors. We've seen coaches address the media and said, I'm not entertaining those rumors. And guess what? They are entertaining it. Because at the end of the day, money talks and BS walks. So with that being said, if you're a professional coach, if you're a player, you have to entertain when they're throwing out more money than you're currently getting.
I think today it is easier than ever to discuss this with your players, because the players now are moving from school to school. They're looking for bigger paydays and better opportunities. And I think Lane handled this perfectly, because you give all the credit to the team and you say, this is why we're in this situation. And that doesn't mean he's not listening, doesn't mean he might not leave Ole Miss, but it's keeping sort of this open door, open honesty policy with your team, which I do think players appreciate. But I think players understand more than ever that it is a business, that everyone is looking for opportunity. Because if you ask some of those players at Ole Miss if they would go to the University of Florida to play there for more money, I bet half of them would sign up and say, sure, I'll go.
There is a football game that needs to be played today. And at the beginning of this show, I billed it as this offense versus defense with these two head coaches. Which unit do you trust more, Lane Kiffin's offense or Venables' defense?
Oh, this is a tough one, but I gotta
Don't be biased.
I gotta go with the Sooners defense in this situation, because outside of Ohio State, they're the second best defense as far as giving up points in the single digits per game. And B-Mac already mentioned it earlier, almost close to 5 sacks a game. This team know how to get to the quarterback. They know how to put pressure on the back end. And then you look at every game they've been in so far, the defense really have been the stars of this. We talked about John Mateer and the magic that he has had early in the season before his injury. I mean, for myself, even I gave him the Baker Mayfield comparison, which I think he's going to get back to that playing level here sooner rather than later. But the defense has showed up each and every week for the Sooners team. And finally, what we're expecting to see from the Sooners defense is finally here.
As for the offense, though, on Oklahoma, you mentioned John Mateer. Post-surgery, he only has 1 total touchdown. He was on a roll before he had hand surgery. What more do you need to see from him?
Consistency. I mean, even in the game against Michigan, which was their big win, and everybody was talking about Mateer jumped to the Heisman frontrunner, he was a little bit dicey in that game. He had a couple interceptable balls, but they were dropped. So I've always looked at Mateer and said, man, how is he going to transition going from last year at Washington State to now coming into the Power 4 level into the SEC? And I think it's been mixed reviews. He got burned against Texas by those 3 interceptions, but also there were several more. So what I want to know, is it because of a thumb? But it's not really execution. It's not like the football is coming out of his hand weird. It's the decisions that he's making with the football. So I think he's got to clean it up, get more consistent, or else he's going to find himself in a fourth quarter game today with Ole Miss.
And this is the most, I guess, ball-aware thing that I'm watching with John Mateer. Because of the thumb, he can't be physical like he was in the first month of the season, running the football, imposing his will, being a +1 in the offense. Now he has to really showcase the cerebral nature that he has above the shoulder. And there lies the issue in terms of being hesitant with his throws. That's why we're not seeing the John Mateer that we saw, because he can't be an athletic football player for their offense. Now you got to work with the game plan from the pocket and make sure you make big-time throws. And he's kind of struggled in that element, and this potentially could hurt the NFL prospect of him being a quarterback, because when you can't move around, what can you do?
Yeah.
And right now, in the 2 games since coming back from that surgery, we haven't seen the consistency in production that we thought we would see when you look at what he did the first month of the season.
Most interesting nugget of this game is Lane Kiffin earlier this week. He alluded to the fact that he thought, he was like, Brent Venables is a great, and he was saying a very tongue-in-cheek, like, boy, he must be great at recognizing plays because it feels like they know what's coming. So much to the point where he talked to Hugh Freeze after Auburn lost to Oklahoma and said, I think they had your signals. And so Lane Kiffin, that will be something interesting to watch out for today. I'm sure they're going to mix up their signals, maybe use the helmet comms more so than most. But I bet Brent Venables did not love some of those comments from Lane Kiffin.
No. Count on Lane Kiffin to say something during the week to get another coach riled up. Well, speaking of coaches, you mentioned Hugh Freeze. He's one of the coaches that we're keeping an eye on this week that's just facing a lot of pressure. They're on the road at Arkansas. Cardale? 4 straight losses, all to ranked teams. I mean, what would a loss today do for Hugh Freeze's future?
Well, if he wins this game, I think you got to start talking about the Auburn Tigers in the college football playoffs because they got 4 great quality losses. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But if you look at the situation right now, it's an uphill battle. I mean, each game, look on the bright side. Each game the Tigers have lost outside of that Georgia game, losing by 10. It's been 1-score games and games that was very winnable for these guys down the stretch. And when you come up short in some of those situations, it's easy to blame the play calling or the situational awareness when you're talking about the coaching staff. But these are games that were so winnable for these guys that was right there. And it just seemed to be a lapse of judgment, a lapse of play calling, a lapse of awareness that really cost them from getting the victories.
It's crazy that we're talking about Auburn again in the coaching carousel.
He just wanted that vote of confidence from the athletic director. He didn't get one. He said, oh, it would have been nice. I felt bad for him. Sad Hugh Freeze.
His contract is guaranteed. Don't feel too bad.
That's true. Hey, speaking of votes of confidence, we did see quite a few come in the landscape of college football. I mean, we have the ringing endorsement, of course, that Bill Belichick got during their bye week. That was very interesting. But Luke Fickell got one from Wisconsin AD Chris McIntosh. It's a very long statement, but just to kind of wrap it up for you, he's saying that the department needs to support him more. But then also with a Mike Norvell, he got a vote of confidence as well. But Danny, that one didn't feel as much like we're confident in you right now, just more so we'll talk to you at the end of the year.
Yes, that to me felt like we're still looking to see how we can come up with the buyout money is what it felt like. But I think the best case scenario for Florida State is that Mike Norvell would run the table and put this abysmal losing streak in the rear view. But I don't know if that would alleviate the concern of Florida State fans. Some of the numbers that are coming out and that have been coming out under Mike Norvell's tenure are very alarming when you think about the number of 4-game losing streaks, not only this season, but going back to his first few years at Florida State. It's going to be really hard for him to win back the Florida State fan base, but I will say, if he wins at Clemson, if he wins at Florida, there is a path to do that. And financially speaking, that's where I think you'd feel much better, where maybe you start investing more in the roster, try to get back with Mike Norvell, but I think it's going to be an uphill battle for him to do that.
Speaking of votes of confidence, there are some teams that are coming off a loss that our guys are going to give their vote of confidence to. BMAC, who are you still believing in?
Let's go out west. Fight on. The Trojans.
Ooh.
Yes. Now, the thing about USC, they're not in that in-depth conversation in terms of playoffs. But when you look at where they're currently sitting, they're 5-2. And a week ago, they were right there with Notre Dame. Unforced errors led to Notre Dame winning that ball game, not to mention a kickoff return touchdown that kind of helped seal the deal. But in that second half, they were down 3 points. Oh, by the way, dealing with an abundance of injuries, starting a walk-on freshman running back, and you really didn't miss a beat. So when you look at USC, you look at the rest of their schedule, they still have an opportunity, including the bowl game, to win have a double-digit winning season, which is definitely an improvement from what they did not do last year and only winning 7 games. And if they take care of their business against Oregon, now if that happens and they finish the rest of the schedule unscathed, beating Oregon, their name would be in that playoff conversation. So you look at what Lincoln Riley has done thus far, I think a phenomenal job, especially when you look at how they've been losing their ball games with all the injuries. They still have a fighting chance.
All right, you guys have picks as well, but we got to put them on hold because I'm hearing we have a very important guest. He is coming up at the end of the break. Get your oars ready. It is time to row the boat. PJ Fleck, the head gopher, will join the show next. Stay with us here on CBS Sports HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
Would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. The power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City High. Superb finish. Pull picks up
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, mother...
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Today is our weekly reminder that college football has been around for a long time. Multiple games feature rivalries that have been played over 100 times, like the 130th version of the South's oldest rivalry between North Carolina and Virginia. It's the second most played in FBS history. These teams first met in 1892. Sticking in the South with the Southeastern Conference, it's the 121st meeting between Tennessee and Kentucky. The SEC foes first met back in 1893. They used to play for a bourbon barrel, which is spectacular. Discontinued in the 90s, though. But how about this one? North Dakota State and South Dakota State, for the 118th time, they battle for the Dakota marker. Of course, a lot of Dakota pride on the line. But today on CBS, the Floyd of Rosedale, Minnesota at Iowa, number 119 in this rivalry. They used to wager an actual hog back in 1935. Now they just play for the Bronze Pig. I don't know what Peter would have to say about that. Of course, there's a lot of Big Ten pride on the line, too. I have seen that trophy in person. It is just as epic as it looks in the photos. But only one team can secure the pig, and you can watch it all go down this afternoon on CBS. Kickoff is set for 3:30, also streaming on Paramount Plus. You see the big figure there at the top. That is PJ Fleck, and we are so excited to welcome him on the show. Coach, how are we feeling today?
Doing elite. Game day here in Iowa City, so we're doing great. Thanks for having us on the show, Emily.
I love it. So excited to talk about this rivalry. Of course, anytime you're playing for a Bronze Pig, that is spectacular. But maybe pretend that we are those guys in the locker room. What are you telling them today ahead of this game about what it means?
Well, first of all, it's the 119th meeting, right? So you get to be a part of this great tradition, as well as all the rivalries that are going on today. You're a small piece of it, but you get a chance to make your mark on it. There was 118 before you. There's going to be 119 after you, but you get a chance to have that small piece. And anytime you're playing Iowa, you better be precise and you better strap up that chin strap a little tighter. But we feel the same way about ourselves as well. So I think that's what makes the rivalry so fun.
Coach Fleck, two great programs here, and you got to account for Iowa's quarterback Mark Gronowski in the running game. Already 10 rushing touchdowns on the season thus far. What are you telling your defense?
You got to tackle really well. I mean, it comes down when you get to rivalry games, it's who does the fundamentals and techniques way better than the other person. You got to be able to control the football, take care of the football, create takeaways, and I'm sure they're saying the exact same thing. What's made Iowa very difficult in the past is they can run the football, but they haven't necessarily had that running quarterback element to that offense as well. Now, when they add number 11 to that mix, it changes everything. And I think that's why you see them scoring a lot more points than maybe they have before. They're way tougher to stop. It seems like every fifth or sixth play, he gets out the gate and he's running for 60 or 70 yards. And they're already difficult to defend. Offensive line's really big, really strong, really experienced. So typical Iowa, but then you add the element of the running quarterback, and now you've got to be not only more sound, but you got to tackle way better.
Well, you talked about your defense. You're playing against another outstanding defense. It seems like Iowa, they continue to have one of the best defenses in the Big Ten year after year. So what are you emphasizing to your young quarterback, Drake Lindsey, with his opportunity to go against one of the best defenses in the Big Ten?
Be precise and be patient. Iowa, they kind of just back you in the corner and wait for you to make mistakes. When you look at Iowa, and they've always kind of been this way, it always starts with their defense. It doesn't mean their offense isn't very good. It just starts with their defense. You've got to take what the defense gives you. You've got to be really patient. You got to be precise. You've got to beat Iowa in levels, right? Because they do such a great job playing their zone coverage and then mixing it up on third down with a lot of their blitz schemes. But they blitz a lot in the second half, so he's just going to have to do a really good job getting us in the right runs early and then being precise in the pass game.
Coach, I'm looking at the top 25 rankings, and I see Minnesota only gets one vote for a top 25 team, and yet you're 5-2. There are a lot of teams in the top 25 that are 5-2. What do you need to gain the respect of the national media to start getting some of the recognition for the job you guys are doing?
Well, this is our 9th year being here, and, we've been ranked as high as 7, I think, in the country. And, we're really proud of the work we've done here and having that cultural sustainability. I think it's just consistency, Danny. I think that's the biggest thing people want to see. We do have cultural sustainability. We have a really, really tough league. Our losses right now, when you look at us to Ohio State, which everybody's losing to Ohio State that way, and then to a really good Cal team on the road. But, we can only control what we can control, Danny, being 1-0 against Iowa and doing that. And then the respect comes. The one thing I always tell our players, respect yourselves and respect this football team. And all the respect on the outside will come because that's stuff we can't control. I mean, I know that sounds like coach speak, but it really is. But if we respect ourselves, we respect this football team, we respect how the way we play, then eventually those things come with it.
You've mentioned Iowa's run game, particularly with their quarterback, but yours has gotten a little influx of juice as well with Darius Taylor looking healthy now. What does he add to your offense?
Yeah, I mean, we have really good players here, but we're not as deep maybe as some other teams. So when we lose our best players, I think that impacts and affects us a lot. And not having Darius for 3 games, I mean, that was really different for us because he is the best player on our football team, one of the best players on your football team. But he's so dynamic. I mean, last year he caught 54 passes, plus almost ran for 1,000 yards. So when you're losing one of your best pass catcher, plus one of your running backs, that makes you change your offense a little bit. Having him back, having him healthy allows us to be as balanced as possible. Not necessarily just saying run, pass. I believe balanced offenses, it means that you can win the game either through the air or on the ground because you're going to have to be able to do both of those at some point because somebody's going to do everything they can to make you one-dimensional. And in that one-dimensional game, can you still execute with what they're making you do at a really high level? So Darius adds that element with us, and I think he's one of the better players in the country, and it's good to have him back and healthy.
Coach, you're one of the longer tenured coaches in the game. There's not a lot of job security in this business, as you know. But I'm curious, since when you took over in 2017 to now in 2025, there's been a lot of changes in college football. How have you changed? Have you had to change your coaching style at all to today's player?
Well, a long time ago, I taught 6th grade elementary school, so I'm a pretty creative guy at nature. I usually don't like things getting stale, but I think there's a bunch of things. I'm always willing to adapt. I think you have to adapt or you're going to die on the vine, but I don't think I'm ever going to change who I am morally, ethically. And so you have to adapt with this new era, and you have to find out how that works and fits for your culture and your program. What's good for somebody else might not necessarily be good for you. What's good for us might not be good for somebody else. So you've got to continue to adapt or you're going to die on the vine. What's new today is old tomorrow for these young people that are in 2025. So we take a lot of pride in how we run our culture, how we keep things really fresh, and how we continue to advance our culture into the future. But I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing now that you're it's Kirk Ferentz and us in terms of the most tenured, which just says how great he's done at Iowa. And I'm not so sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing at times.
Hey, Coach, so follow me here. I'm a true freshman. I'm a part of your team. I don't know a lot about this rivalry, but I'm getting geared up. I'm from South Florida. I'm getting ready to get geared up and play against Iowa. What are you going to tell me and the rest of my teammates right before we leave the locker room to go to battle?
You better be in for a rock fight, and that's exactly what it is. You better strap it up just a little bit tighter. This is one of the best environments in all of college football. I heard you guys talking about that earlier with Danny, and playing in Iowa City is a hostile environment. These are two states that don't like each other very much, and you can definitely feel it once you step foot on that field. It's a hostile environment, but that's what college football is all about, and you wouldn't want to have it any other way. But you better be the one throwing the biggest, sharpest rocks. That's for sure.
We absolutely love it. We know your team will. They always do. Coach PJ Fleck, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us on the show, everybody. Row the boat, Sky Mile. Go Gophers.
There you go. We got to row the boat out of him, so I count that as a success.
I wanted a canoe. Yeah, we threw around that idea. Like, we could have all been sitting in the canoe, rowing the boat while we did that interview.
Yeah.
Come on.
Next time.
I don't know where we would
This
go.
is
Next
a
time,
big
let's
desk.
Can we put the canoe here?
I don't know.
I'm thinking about it. Just flood the
out.
studio and just turn our seats
I
upside
feel like
down.
it could fit. We love college football here on this show, and we know the big rivalries, and we know the Bronze Pig and everything, but for some people that might not know about this one, this is kind of more of an underrated rivalry. B-Mac, you heard him say it. These states, not schools, states do not like each other.
Yeah.
What makes this such a great rivalry?
Just the tradition, just the historical tradition associated with both universities in terms of the dislike. There's a mutual respect, but they hate each other. And that's what college football is all about in terms of the long line of going back and forth, the battles. And when you talk about this rivalry, on the national side of things, it might not be the first name you throw out. But for these two schools, for these states, they know exactly how important this game is. And that's why I wanted to ask Coach Fleck that question. What about some of the outer state prospects that they get to come to their university? You have to really instill the knowledge about what this rivalry means and why it's so important, because a lot of us don't know from other places until we get to that said university. For me and Danny, we were Florida kids. So we already knew about Florida State not liking Miami, Florida State not liking Florida. But what about some out-of-state kids that goes to these universities that are a part of these historical rivalries? They have to understand and know why you dislike the player you're going against. And then it means more to you to go out and put forth your best effort.
Which I love that, too, because their quarterback, Drake Lindsey, is from Fayetteville, Arkansas. So he's somebody that grew up in SEC territory and is being introduced to this rivalry today. Who wins the game, though, Cardale?
Ooh. You know what? This is tough. And B-Mac made some good points about playing in rivalry games. Usually records and all the rankings, that stuff go out the window. But on this situation, I'm going to go with Iowa. And specifically, Minnesota has not been a great road team, the two losses that they have.
On the
at
road.
Cal, at Ohio State. And just something seemed to be missing. And Coach Fleck actually mentioned it was my biggest key for for Iowa winning this game. Iowa has always been a tough run team and always played great defense. Now you add the quarterback in a legit +1 run game. That adds has a whole different dynamic. We saw what they did 2 weeks ago up in Wisconsin versus Wisconsin, 37 points. I thought I was seeing something when I saw 37 points about Iowa offense. But, Mark Gronowski gives that defense, gives their offense a completely different element that adds a different thing to stop for the Iowa offense.
I'm right there with you. When you look at Gronowski and what he's done, I think he leads FBS at the quarterback position in rushing touchdowns. I think he has around 10. That's a new dimension to their offense. You look at the young quarterback on the road. He hasn't fared well in the two most recent road opportunities, Cal and Ohio State. And then you look at just the trend in this rivalry. Out of the last 10 meetings, Iowa has won 9. They just know how to win. In this said game in Minnesota, they have found ways to lose when they play against the Hawkeyes. So I'm right there with Cordell.
PJ's gone, right? Like, he's not going to hear us all picking the other way. Because he's a great coach. I just think this is an uphill battle for him today. Oh, you do? Okay, good. So that's good. You think a close game. And I thought it was interesting because he said you better strap up the chin strap a little tighter. It's going to be a rock fight. It is going to be a lower scoring affair where it's going to feature a lot of defense on display. In that type of game, I'll take Iowa.
All right. Will Iowa keep the pig? Find out at 3:30 Eastern on CBS. It's big time. Minnesota at Iowa. You can watch this game this afternoon on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Some quarterbacks you'll see shine on Saturday seemingly came out of nowhere, like Diego Pavia, Fernando Mendoza, Haynes King will tell you how they arrived both onto their teams and on the national stage.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No. That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City Eye. Superb finish. Pull inside. Picks up it.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise,
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This just in out of college football, where Memphis quarterback Brendan Lewis is expected to start in today's showdown against number 18 South Florida. That is according to ESPN. He was listed as questionable for today's game with a leg injury after leaving last week's loss against UAB in the third quarter. Lewis leads the American in completion percentage this season and has contributed 15 total touchdowns to the Tigers offense. Kickoff for South Florida Memphis is set for noon Eastern from Memorial Stadium. Elsewhere in the state of Tennessee, the legend of Diego Pavia continues. We all kind of chuckled when he told us the offseason the reason he came back was to win a national championship, but Rick Neuheisel believes it. They have pieces that spell championship football. This is not an accident. I mean, who's laughing now? They are very much in it. Today, the team on the other side, though, is Missouri, but the opponent really doesn't matter when you're Diego Pavia. The Vanderbilt media guide lists him at 6 foot. Although he's at least 2 inches shorter than that, his personality, though, makes him 2 feet taller. His fans, a.k.a. the Pavia Mafia, have watched him take the SEC's bottom dwellers to the top. And the Doors, they now boast their highest ranking since 1947. It's also the first time that Vanderbilt has collected multiple wins versus AP top 15 teams ever. Danny Cannell, what has Diego Pavia done for this team, not just in the win column, but perception-wise for the Commodores?
He clearly deserves a ton of credit for coming in just as a playmaker when he comes into this program. But the confidence, and I think the confidence comes from his belief in himself, but I think it's also a confidence in Clark Lee, their head coach, who deserves a ton of credit, because I look at him as the architect of this more so than Diego Pavia. Diego Pavia has been an extension of that confidence, because remember when Clark Lee stood up there at SEC Media Days and said, I think we can be one of the best teams in the SEC, and I think we can be one of the best teams in the country, and people laughed, including myself. I was like, yeah, right. But they've actually done that, and I think you see some Cover 3 fingerprints on this with Barton Simmons, who used to be a member of that podcast, scouting talent, getting, kind of diamonds in the rough, finding a guy like Diego Pavia, but then developing that talent and actually maximizing the players on your roster. It has been an unbelievable job. And then when you start getting a little bit of success, I've always felt Nashville could be a sleeping giant for a college town. Now you get the locals in Nashville backing Vanderbilt, and you've got a game day environment which matches the product on the field, which is this recipe for success.
Helps that the Titans aren't doing too well. That poor town needs a good football team to root for, and Vanderbilt has provided it. I want to bring in Cooper Patagna to this conversation to talk a little bit about the scouting and how it was built, because Coop, this Vanderbilt team was a 2-win team twice under Clark Lee, and yet they have seemingly turned it around. How is this roster constructed to now a potential playoff contender?
Well, they've done a phenomenal job, I think, just hitting on every part of the process. Even when they're a 2-win team, I think believing that self-belief that Danny was talking about with Clark Lee, that has been something that has been such a huge component about what they've been doing. And then getting the quarterback, the veteran guy, that's such a big piece. We'll talk about teams like Indiana, Georgia Tech, all have the guys at the quarterback position. But really what's interesting when you look at Vanderbilt and what they're doing offensively is they're 5 offensive linemen. These are 4 to 5 year players, guys that are all transfers starting on the offensive line. And then you think about Vanderbilt, they're a top 25 offense, they're top 25 in rushing. You look back against that win against LSU, it was their ability to take the air out of the football and win the time of possession. So Vanderbilt is a team that maximizes their possessions. And listen, in the offseason, in terms of building this roster, they know who they are in terms of the college football hierarchy. They're okay hitting singles and doubles in the transfer portal, but they're more attracted to guys that have experience playing at a high level. And they've gone out and they've got guys from D2 all over the place. Trey Richardson, Jalen Stone on the defensive line. They've done an unbelievable job scouting, and then also on the high school end, taking a step up, winning in their area in Tennessee, and developing those guys, especially on the defensive line.
All right, well, Vanderbilt is not the only team that has had this miraculous comeback, so we have more to discuss, Coop, but we got to head to a break here because Mackenzie and Mikey, well, they have been cooking up a parlay for us. Mackenzie's still putting that IFB on, but don't worry, she's been working on these bets all day. She'll bring them to you next. Stick with us.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here.
Oh, man, this is awesome.
The power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's a massive clash at City A. Superb finish.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter.
Dexter.
What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Every week, FanDuel is giving you a 50% profit boost on the biggest college football showdown. That means you could boost your winnings by 50% on the biggest matchup. So download the FanDuel app and bet the big match on campus with a boost right now. Our friends Mackenzie and Mikey join us with a parlay pick, and it's a four-legger.
Emily, I know we always come in here confident. What I will say is me and Mikey last night chefing this up, I've never felt so good. Mikey even put on a collared shirt for this.
Yeah, I did. I dressed up for it. I feel like it's business today.
Yeah.
Business
and
today.
row the boats.
Yeah, and we're rowing the boats, and it's been business. We're paying for the drinks today. And if you're not placing a parlay on a Saturday, you're lying to yourself.
Yes, you hate fun. Four-legger.
First leg.
The ponies.
Oh.
SMU money line going into Wake Forest. Wake Forest, what have you done for me lately? You're on a bye week, and you beat two teams that fired their head coach.
Fired their head coach.
It's really not that cool.
The ponies.
Not that impressive. Give me the ponies. Ole Miss.
Oh, shout out Graham. He's going to be ecstatic.
Plus the 5.5. You're telling me they would have been 5.5-point dogs 2 weeks ago. They lose to Georgia when they were up 9 in the second half. Like, sue me to believe this is a close game, at least a field goal.
There's also something nice about being able to send the Trinidad flag to all your buddies when you got this parlay locked in and they're winning. Next leg, the system unranked home favorites against a ranked team, Iowa State. Moneyline. BYU just gave everything they had in the Holy War. There's no way they come into this game up and rearing. Last leg, plus 806. A&M moneyline. Brian Kelly, go ahead, get LinkedIn fired up, because this is the game that gets you fired. You're going to need to update the resume, update the bio, update the connections, because A&M's coming in there, and they're going to do some not nice things.
And let it be known, there is a really responsible, healthy wager that has been put on this four-legger by Michael.
Very responsible, very healthy.
Yes.
The only way we do it. $300.
I like it, guys, but as soon as you laid this out, one Danny Cannell here said, do you guys like Ole Miss? I don't know about Ole Miss, but I'm riding with you. Don't worry. Also, if you want to place a bet on this, I have some advice for you, because every week FanDuel is giving away a 50% profit boost on the biggest college football showdown. Download the FanDuel app now. I hear we have some breaking news on the other side. I don't know if everybody at the desk even knows what this is. We'll bring it to you. Stick with us here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here.
Oh, man, this is awesome.
That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City On. Superb finish. Picks up.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's tong skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Someone at this law firm knew they were fueling an epidemic.
You come forward now, you're just a crazy old lady with no evidence.
You didn't see this coming, did you now?
I'm going to spend the rest of my career protecting my father's mission. We don't quit.
Thank you.
That's what my dad would do.
My name is Francois Crutchfield, but everybody calls me Crutch.
Crutch.
Crutch, we got a lot of experience of grown kids that's never ready to leave the nest. You need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
Each of you will represent your hometown.
It's 15 artists battling to take over the world.
I want to put Hawaii on the map, and not just in that little box on the bottom corner.
Inkmaster Hometown Heroes, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Let's go save the universe.
Now that's more like it.
Are you ready to laugh?
Nailed it.
Till you turn blue.
Oh, no.
That got weird.
Smurfs. Rated PG. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Welcome in to College Football Pregame presented by FanDuel. 1 hour to go until noon kickoffs in the sport. We got Danny Cannell, B-Mac, Cardale Jones. I'm Emily Proud. Do you guys believe in this whole, look good, play good kind of situation?
Absolutely. That's a part of the game. Definitely.
Definitely? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was unequivocal.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, because some teams are going to be looking good today. Look at this. We've got Tulane with some nice throwbacks, a little homage to New Orleans. What do you guys think about all this? Look at all
That's a lot going on.
It's a lot. I mean,
a little too much?
I get it. You get the vibe of the Bourbon Street vibe.
This one
right
concerns
there.
me for the Hurricanes.
Yes.
It concerns me.
No ties to this.
And Carson Beck's already struggling, going to the right colors. Like, I mean, how's he going to be able to see?
The jokes write themselves. Oregon, though, with the Grateful Ducks.
Oregon's doing what Oregon does.
They're honoring the Grateful Dead here with the Grateful Ducks. You can't see, but on the back of the helmet, you've got the Dancing Bears. Let's talk about some football, though. Number 3, Texas A&M. Number 20, LSU. Death Valley at night is no joke, but this Aggies team is off to its best start since 1994 and their highest rank since 1995. They are one of just 6 undefeated teams in college football right now. They're the only unbeaten in the SEC currently. After this, the Aggies, they only have one more SEC road game. They go to South Carolina, so the playoff seems very attainable. Here's some more facts on some of the remaining undefeated teams. We see Navy down there, 6-0. They're the only unranked undefeated team. So put some respect on Navy's name. But with all these games, guys, we need some next level analysis, some big brained analysis, if you will. So we're going to bring in David Pollack and pick Pollack's brain. David, how are we doing today?
Doing good. I didn't know defensive linemen could ever be constituted as big brains. I just didn't know that was a thing. I appreciate it.
Well, when it comes to football, I mean, come on. This is why we bring you in here. But we want to talk about that first game in Death Valley because I know you have some experience there. You look at Brian Kelly. He's 23-3 at home at LSU. So I know it's easy to say, okay, you feed off this energy, right? This home crowd, they're behind you. But outside of that, what makes that road environment so challenging to play coming in as a team?
It's the hardest environment I ever played in, and there wasn't a close second. The fans are just crazy loud, and at night, obviously, plenty of time to hydrate, to take care of themselves really, really well. They're just into the game, and it's nuts. And here's the thing: this is a desperate LSU team. Like, they have to win. The Mulligans are gone. Like, they've shown some good spurts defensively throughout the season. Last week was their worst performance, but offensively they got it together. This feels like a last stand, desperate move for LSU. I think they're very much in this game. And one thing about this matchup with these two teams, since they've played each other every year, since 2017, the home teams won every single matchup. A desperate LSU team at home in that environment, I think it's dangerous. A&M better definitely make sure they're prepared.
Texas A&M, Mike Elko's taken over that defense. He's done a better job. But then I look at some of their games, like Arkansas, like Notre Dame. They give up a bunch of points. How do you feel Texas A&M's defense? Like, where do they stack up in the SEC? Are they at the top tier, or is this a team you look at and say, I don't know, I need to see them continue to improve defensively?
Well, here's the thing about their defense. If they get you to third down, they're the most lethal defense probably in the country, not just in the SEC, because Elko, he has the big brain. Like, he legit schemes it up. And you watch consistently how they'll have 5, 6 blockers up front, and the next thing you know, there's 2 guys on a 4-man rush that get home because of the disguise. So I think Taylon Green, that's a different animal, right? Like, the running QB element to that. Obviously, everyone's going to struggle against Arkansas. You've seen that across the country. It's been a really hard offense to stop, one of the best in the country. I think they're really, really good. I think their run defense is shown to be susceptible sometimes. I think their pass defense is strong in the back end and probably the strength of the team, along with the linebacker unit. Like Scooby Williams and York in the middle, like, they're really, really good. Cassius Howell, third down rushing the passer. So I think they're really good. They're not elite. They're not dominant, but the offense obviously can get it cooking, and they can score too. So they're one of the more complete teams when if the offense doesn't show up and doesn't have a great day, the defense can carry the day. Not every week against every great offense, but that's why A&M's undefeated to this point.
Well, you look at other noteworthy games in terms of the top 25 implications. We got Oklahoma hosting Ole Miss. And, of course, you look at the defensive matchup with Oklahoma and what they've done with their front. What do you see offensively for Lane Kiffin? What's the best direction of success for him to have against the Sooners defense?
Well, here's what I'm so curious to see, guys. Like, I am with you. I love Oklahoma's defense. I think it's elite. It's number one in the nation in yards giving up per game, just over 200. Like, they're leading the country in sacks. But can we please look a little bit at who they've played? You talk about in the SEC, ain't nobody going, man, Auburn, that Auburn passing attack's lethal. Like, ain't nobody saying that about South Carolina. Right? Like, nobody says that about Michigan. Like, so Oklahoma, I think their defense is dirty. I think the defensive front seven is really, really good. The pass rush is insane. I think this is a big test for their perimeter play. I don't know how good they are at corner yet. And so, McFadden, I think the same thing happens last week. This is a rhythm passing game with Ole Miss. Like, can they attack outside when Venables gets really aggressive? They're going to get the ball out. Trinidad does an unbelievable job getting the ball out. And we saw Ole Miss's offense against a great LSU defense, succeeded, did well. We saw them against a Georgia defense that's okay. It's not elite by any stretch. They do really, really well. I expect Oklahoma's offense to struggle more than they have at any point, or Oklahoma's defense to struggle more than they have at any point. And then it's on John Mateer and company to see what they can do.
David, Cardale Jones here. I'm going to take a broader stance on my question for you today, man. Out of all the SEC teams, all the top matchups we have, we got Vandy and the Tigers, we got LSU and A&M, and then clearly the Oklahoma-Ole Miss game. Out of all these matchups, who have the best front seven? Got to show some love to the big guys up front. Who got the best front seven on defense in this SEC matchups that we see today?
Well, I think I would go back probably to Oklahoma, just because, man, they're so disruptive, and then they got a coach that wakes up and he goes blitz. Like, his ringtone on his phone is blitz. Like, he's just aggressive all the time. And if I wanted to play in a system, man, like, I want to play with Venables. Like, all the stunting, the twisting, the motioning, but like, he never lets you feel comfortable. So you, like, right, as a quarterback, and you're going, how do I feel comfortable? How do I get in a rhythm? How do I get accustomed to what I'm seeing and really get settled in? He doesn't let you do that. And them playing at home, like, obviously, to me, the front seven is the thing that you watch them week in and week out. You're going defensive tackle, you're going defensive end. Like, man, there are guys that are just getting after the quarterback and making plays consistently. So I'd probably say Oklahoma. Now, listen, Vanderbilt's really good. A&M's really good. The biggest thing about Vandy is they've done a good job of building depth and rotating guys, and now showing some ability to be creative on third down and showing some ability to get people in third down, which in the past with Vanderbilt defense were like, just get to a third down, right? Because they would give up the running game and physically get dominated the point of attack.
No surprise, this conversation is all about defense. But, David, I want to take it to the offensive side of the ball, because one of the matchups that Cardale didn't mention is Alabama-South Carolina. It's not a ranked-on-ranked, but I want to talk about Ty Simpson, because so much was made of the fact that he stuck around. He waited. He was a backup for 3 years. How are you seeing that experience and that weight pay off with how he's playing?
Man, he's playing so well. Like, this dude is the best I've seen in the country. And just the consistent throws. And one thing I try to do as a defensive guy is I'm always like, all right, how do I stop this guy? I don't have answers to that question, because he's willing to play the patience game. He'll get rid of the ball really quickly now if you want to blitz him. But then also he'll extend plays, step up in the pocket, make people miss, take off and get a first down. Then he'll make people miss and throw it and get a first down. He's got big play receivers, and then encompass that with a great system that knows how to get people open and knows how to layer concepts together. Like, Ty Simpson's been so much fun to watch. And what a good story. Like, grew up, supporting Alabama, being an Alabama guy, and now being able to play for the squad that he loved and adored. And you see, man, the emotion, the leadership. Like, this dude, I'll fight all of you if you're going to talk about quarterbacks, and we're not talking about Ty Simpson or best players in the country, and he's not mentioned.
Davey, Cam Newton had some interesting comments the other day. He was talking about the SEC and the college football playoff with 12 teams, and he said we have to start putting more of an emphasis on strength of schedule. It's so disappointing when you see a team that has not played the same level of talent. I would take a 3-loss SEC before I ever take a 2-loss or even a 1-loss team from other conference. I think this has to be taken, and you have to like compare them, stack them, because in general, as a broader statement, I think it sounds crazy. But I do think if it's very specific and there's a 3-loss SEC versus a 2-loss Notre Dame, say, and then you start really breaking it down and you were going compared to those head-to-head, I think you can make a case for an SEC 3-loss team. But in general, how do you feel about the strength of schedule? Are we going to get a fairer, more accurate 12 teams this year with the emphasis they're putting on it?
I mean, I think you'll never get fair and accurate because what people determine as successful or as competitive is different than each other. Right? Like, not everybody thinks because, some people think a loss is a huge determining factor, a huge knockdown. Some people put more priority on a big win. So as long as humans are doing this, and that's what we want humans doing this. We didn't like the computers. But that's the importance of the expanded college football playoff. Because I love that we're debating 13, 12, and 14, right? Not Florida State, 5. And not getting a chance to go in there and do some damage and possibly prove that they deserve to be there. There's going to be some interesting crossovers this year. Like Oklahoma, if they're a 3-loss team, Michigan's a 2-loss team, and Oklahoma beat Michigan. Like, we have some good head-to-head data there that would provide otherwise. But, if you're going to tell me who the most competitive league is, it's clearly the SEC. If you're going to tell me who the most top-heavy league or has the best teams, we could have a debate. And the Big Ten has a big point with some of the best teams. They've also won the championship the last 2 years. So I think it's a resume basis, resume to resume. A lot of teams have chosen to choose out-of-conference games that are extremely difficult and challenge themselves, while others do not. And so not every team is the same, but you can't tell me that on a week-in, week-out basis, the SEC isn't the hardest gauntlet to run with all the competitiveness in that conference.
Let's stick with the SEC because, David, this is kind of just breaking now. Reports are that Texas coach Steve Sarkeesian could potentially leave Texas and take one of the vacant jobs in the NFL. We already have Florida open. We have Penn State open. What would it do to the market if Texas now becomes open?
I think it would make it interesting. But these coaches, man, with this new era, with NIL and the goalposts that have continued to move, and it's been taking years off of their lives. And it's a much harder proposition to deal with kids now and the money and all the stuff that goes into it. There's a reason why you see consistently people are leaving to go to the NFL. College coaches know it's easier. The schedule's easier. There's not as much that goes into it. It's very concrete. The system has been set in place. So I'm not surprised, but, Sark has had a lot of success, and Texas deserves a lot of credit for being in back-to-back Final Fours. And now this year has been a little bit disappointing, but obviously Texas has been one of the biggest beneficiaries of NIL. They found $3 million in a couch cushion at their house, some of these donors, right? They got some long bread. It's a different level. So I would be surprised if he left from that standpoint, because I don't know that there's many better jobs in the country than Texas. But I know the NFL is it's easier jobs to coach and to perform in the NFL than it is to in college football right now.
Cardale, would you be surprised if he left Texas for the NFL?
You know what? I think I would be surprised, but I wouldn't blame him because of everything that David just said. We talk about what you think you got to deal with now on the college level. NIL is basically a salary cap type of structure, and then the transfer portal is basically free agency. Why not deal with it at the highest level of football with a lot less restrictions? And also, my job is clear, cut, and defined. As a college coach, you have so many more things on your plate that's not in the job description that you have to handle. So, will I be shocked? Yeah, but would I be, I understand if he takes that jump to the NFL.
You know what? I'm on the opposite end. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised. And I actually think he is leaving. The reason why I think he is leaving, because these rumors coming out right now mean there is smoke to the potential fire that we will see. And the reason why I'm not surprised is because if you look at what Sark has done, it seems like the entire landscape of college football, fellas, it's all about who's getting paid what and determining who is playing. Mm-hmm. And as a head coach, I can care less about the dollar amount this said player is getting if he's not living up to the billing. And I think Sarkeesian is dealing with that currently in Texas, and I think he does not want that same headache if he returns next year. Mm-hmm. Meaning certain players will be playing, regardless if he believes they're deserving of being in that lineup or not.
Who don't deserve to be in the lineup?
I'm not saying I'm just throwing out my opinion. I'm not putting a name on what I'm saying.
Because they did run a guy out the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in the NFL, it's about the best player. And I think he wants that freedom to be able to, no, man, this is the guy I want to go to war with, instead of being forced to go with a guy who you know does not give you the best chance to win.
One, I think this is a sign that the agents are putting into work right now because they know they have a lot of leverage with all these openings. They can drive up a price. Also, do you guys know that Steve Sarkeesian was brought into question as a play caller this week? Mm-hmm. And I wonder if Sark is kind of sending a message like, oh, really?
Like,
you guys don't like me? You guys don't think I'm a good play caller? Well, guess who might? I got options. And I'm curious to know what Pollack thinks of this, Davey, because that has been, it was kind of a hot topic this week, and people were bringing up, oh, a head coach can't call the plays. I don't think that's the problem at Texas. I think it's an offensive line, which has a lot of new pieces. I think it's a young quarterback who is struggling right now. But in general, when you look at this Texas, is it play calling? Is this Sark? Or is this something that is just kind of normal for a team with a first-year quarterback?
Well, I'm going to hit that in a second. I want to hit what some of y'all said just about the coaches and stuff. But, like, I think college coaches are going through an identity crisis because they used to coach because of all the things that went into it, like student athletes and developing young men. I firmly believe there's a lot of coaches that want to do that. That's gone. The last thing in a recruiting pitch now is student athletes. We're not talking about that anymore. You're talking about how much. We're talking about what are we going to do? What are the numbers? How do we make this work? So I think that's been, something that's been frustrating a lot of coaches across the country talking to them. Now, here's the thing about Texas. And Danny, I was on this weeks and weeks and weeks ago and how I felt. I put the majority of the blame on Sark, and I'm okay with that because you can't tell me that, yes, Arch Manning has not played great, but what about Sark's creativity in the screen game and getting the ball out and making it very easy for the offense? Like, that is his job. Like, okay, here's another thing, too. We talk about Arch, and we lay all of it at the feet of Arch. Okay, the offensive line is not a great unit. The tight end room is not a great unit. The running back room is not a great unit. The receiver unit is not a great unit. Besides that, guys, they're great everywhere. And who builds the roster, right? Like, it's Sark and company that are building this roster. So I don't think the roster around Arch is in anywhere near position to help him be successful. You look at the guys at the top of the rankings right now. Like, Julian Sain. Does he have an arsenal of people to throw to? Is he protected? You dang right. Like, you want to go to Indiana? Does he have an arsenal of receivers to throw to? You dang right. We can keep going down the list to number 3 at A&M with Craver and Concepcion. You can go to 4 with Alabama. Like, the top teams in the country have elite receivers out wide, elite supporting cast. Texas doesn't have that anywhere across the board. There's not another position group there. There's not a position group, period, on offense that's elite.
Whew. See, that's the big brain stuff we brought you in for, David Pollack. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And to his credit, too, a lot of it is development. Texas does have the #1 class this year. 41 teams still technically alive to make the college football playoffs. So that means that we have 41 more teams to talk about. No, stick with us here on College Football Pregame.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No, that is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount+.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's a massive clash at City High. Superb finish.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely this will end on it. Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun.
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
That cold?
The CBS Game of the Week comes to us from Iowa City. The home team Hawkeyes host Minnesota in the Floyd Rosedale rivalry game. Jenny, Gary, and Brad, get us ready to go for this chilly 51-degree Big Ten brawl. We're cold here in Florida.
Well, we got a good one today on CBS. The Minnesota Gophers coming to Iowa City to take on the Hawkeyes. This is a game that is steeped in tradition, in history. There's so much on the line with these two teams, and maybe two teams that we haven't been talking about enough, Gare.
I know. Well, nobody talks about Iowa and Minnesota.
Well, we need to.
I know, and we should and we will. I think, a lot of people around the country kind of make light of these trophy games that the Big Ten has, and maybe that's fun at college football. But these two teams and these two fan bases, they want that big.
Hey, if you grew up in one of these states, Floyd or Rosedale was the game. I had two guys that I lived in the same apartment complex in college. They were from Iowa. So Bob Merrill and Al Dembesti, if you're out there today and you're watching HQ, the bet is still the same. Pizza, beer, that's all we could afford, but it was big.
Yeah, they just refer to it as the Floyd. They don't need anything.
No, it's just Floyd. Yeah, it's good enough.
Just Floyd. All right, we're going to send this to them if they are not watching for HQ for whatever reason, that they wouldn't be doing that in this moment. You look at this quarterback matchup between these two guys, two very different quarterbacks, Gronowski, Lindsey. Who has the edge between the two?
Well, I don't think anybody has an edge. It's just they are a lot different the way they play. And if Drake Lindsey, if he's in the pocket and he can get protection, he's as good a thrower as we've seen in a long time. I mean, he's still young, but he's showed if he gets that 2.5 seconds, he will complete passes. Now, Mark Gronowski, I thought he was coming on with the passing game. The injury has changed him, but he has changed Iowa football because he's given them that extra runner. It makes Iowa much better.
I know one thing that Lindsey's going to have to fear is Phil Parker's defense because they know where he's going to be to throw the ball. And the way he's been blitzing lately, going to be a little bit of pressure on the redshirt freshman quarterback.
You talk about a tale of two coaches as well. You got two guys completely on the different side of the spectrum when it comes to just coaching styles and who they are as people. You have PJ Fleck, who's like the cheerleader out there, row the boat, let's get out there, and then the stoic
dead
Kirk
calm.
Yeah. What do you think about these two guys?
What's funny is as close as these two teams' styles are in the way they play football, the coaches are the opposite, and I think that's the great thing about college football. There's all different ways to do it. There's all different personalities. What you have to do is lead. And PJ Fleck leads his way, and Kirk leads his own way. Kirk believes what he believes. He's hung it out, and Iowa is a good football team because he stuck to what he believes.
Yep, exactly. And, look at these two teams, and you think, wow, they're kind of built the same by different guys, like you said. The only problem, the only difference is Kirk's been here 3 times longer than PJ has.
Been around quite a bit. Yeah, you look at PJ Fleck's record against Iowa, 1-7. So hopefully he's trying to get out there and bring that trophy back to Minnesota. But before we go, I just want to throw it out there. You got a little story about gophers, Brad. What you used to do with some gophers?
Well, we used to trap gophers, and you used to get 25 cents for their feet. Yeah, basically you string them together.
What'd you do with the rest of them?
I don't want to talk about it. So if you're out there picking corn today and you hit a mound, sorry, I wasn't there to trap it for you.
I have nothing else to say. Check it out, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS.
I mean, if that doesn't get you ready to watch this game, I don't know what will. But let's remind you, we got Minnesota at Iowa, 3:30 Eastern on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Keep Brad away from the Gophers. Geez, stick with us here at HQ. More after the break.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. The power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway in this massive clash of City On. Superb finish. Picks up.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that touchdown. Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Half hour to go until kickoffs in the sport. And how about this one? UCLA, number 2, Indiana. The Bruins, they may be on a 3-game win streak, but as Google will remind us, Curt Cignetti wins 2. His IU squad is one of 6 undefeated teams in college football right now, and because of it, they're the number 2 team in the nation, which is their highest rank in program history. They seem like a bowling ball that you just can't stop. But Danny, how do the Bruins keep it close today?
I don't think they do. I think there's a reason this point spread is so high. Yes, I think they can cover the spread. I mean, this is a team that has been infused with a jolt of life and energy and creativity on the offensive side of the ball. So they've been better. Nico's been playing a lot better. But I love Curt Cignetti's message to his team. He said we are facing 3-0 UCLA. He didn't mention anything that happened at the front of the season. And I do think this Indiana team is dialed. I think they're a team that still, even though they're ranked number 2 in the country, Kirk Cignetti has that chip on their shoulder, still challenging his team, saying you guys still aren't getting the respect you deserve. And also, I think they're a really good football team.
And saying you're not getting the respect you deserve is one thing, but saying it when you're ranked number 2 in the country is a whole nother situation. So that's what I'm looking to see. They're in an unfamiliar spot. They're the number 2 team in college football right now. They have to live up to the billing. Usual suspects, they're used to being in that position. The Ohio States of the world, the Alabamas of the world, the Georgia of the world. Indiana, they're not used to being in this position, so taking care of their business, not playing with their food is what I'm looking to see, especially in the first half of this ball game.
It's hard to call them underrated when there's a 25.5 point spread.
Yeah, they're a pretty good team, but as we remember last year with Kirk Cignetti going out to UCLA, and going out west, I think they traveled a day of the game because he's like, this is a business trip. This is what we about. Let's go whoop some butt and get back on the plane.
And they did.
So I don't think. Yeah, I don't think
now UCLA too has a 9 a.m. start time. Do you factor that in at all, Ken?
Yeah, here's what I will say. That same 3-0, quote unquote, UCLA is also 3-0 to their team total over 13.5.
Hey.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a little gross. Hand up, it's a little gross, but maybe a backdoor, maybe a fourth quarter meaningless touchdown gets you to 2 touchdowns here. There's a chance that this team starts off hot before the spread and everything gets out of hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of like sneaky, very good games in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
We're of course going to talk a lot about the Minnesota-Iowa game, but also Northwestern at Nebraska. You talk about a team who does need more respect. BMAC is Northwestern. I mean, under David Braun, they are playing fantastically this year. Yeah, they're over a touchdown underdog on the road.
This is something now, this is disrespect. To your point, Northwestern, they've been a very, very scrappy team. They're the one team you want to get in a sparring fight with, and if you're not careful, they can put you on the canvas. So, and this is an intriguing game for Nebraska because everything is in favor for Nebraska to go out and dominate, and most importantly, win this ball game. But it's something about Nebraska, when you're ready to go all in with them and believe in them, they let you down. They let you down.
It's just when they get you.
And it starts on the offensive end with their quarterback. I expect more out of Dylan Raiola, and sometimes he shows those flashes, and sometimes he gives you the oh no moment. So which version of the quarterback will we see today?
I don't think it's even that with Nebraska with the quarterback situation. I think Northwestern is going to go out here and be in a dogfight, and any dogfight over the course of time with with Northwestern, I kind of like their odds because they're used to being in that situation, and they put themselves and find themselves in some of these situations where they're not supposed to be here. And they started, they was the straw that broke the camel back when you talk about what they did to Penn State at Penn State with the departure of James Franklin. So I like Northwestern in this situation.
I think this gets really uncomfortable for Matt Rule if he loses this game. And think about it, he was the darling, the Penn State, favorite hire. What does that mean for Penn State potentially? Does he look as attractive? Is that something where it's becoming a distraction? He hasn't, he addressed it early on and he waxed poetic about how much I love Penn State as a program, but you do wonder, has that created some doubt in that locker room? And that's one of the reasons they did lose that game against Minnesota last week. But if you go back-to-back losses, all of a sudden Nebraska fans might be telling you, go ahead and take that Penn State job.
They didn't just lose to Minnesota.
Right.
Raiola was sacked 9 times.
Yeah.
They were shut out of the end zone. So how do you look at this one numbers-wise?
This is tough. When you see a total like this, 44.5 is relatively low relative to some other numbers you're seeing. I think it's really hard to cover a 7.5-point spread just when you see such a low total and small amount of points. So the fact that you have that 7.5, the hook, I would definitely lean the Northwestern side here.
I want to start with you on this next game when we see South Florida and Memphis square off, because everybody wants to know, is this the play-in game for the G5?
This is 100% the play-in game for the G5. If you win this game, you will be on our bracket on Monday. You're in the driver's seat. It's yours to lose. I think we'll get whoever is a 1-loss AAC conference champion will definitely be the shoe-in here. If we see them go to 2 to 3 losses, maybe that becomes a JMU story down the road, but I do think it will be between these two teams. A lot of people counting out Memphis here, 3.5-point dogs at home. Even when we had the freshmen starting with A.J. Hill, we still had them basically as a pick-em in this game. So I would absolutely take advantage of the fact you're getting Memphis at home as 3.5-point dogs. Not even 3.5. They obviously had a look-ahead spot last week when they got embarrassed. You can either say Memphis football stinks, or you can say that was college kids in a look-ahead spot. I'm willing to pay to find out.
It did move from 6.5 to 3.5. You mentioned A.J. Hill. He's the backup. He was expected to start, but Memphis getting some good news today that Brendan Lewis, their starting quarterback, will start this game. Danny, points in this game, right?
Points. We saw South Florida. They put up 63, I believe, at North Texas. That game was a wild shootout. The American in general, usually you see kind of these wild, fun games. Both teams have really good offenses, really good quarterback play. And I love the fact that you do have Memphis with a healthy quarterback. I hate when games are impacted by, an injury and all of a sudden it impacts everything you do on that side of the ball. But keep an eye on Byron Brown. That dude is a stud, bigger, thicker quarterback who can run guys over, more of a physical style runner. He can also throw the ball too. I like South Florida in this game, but this is a tricky spot because no one's giving Memphis a chance because of what happened last week. They lost to UAB. Maybe, just maybe, Memphis had this game circled, a little look-ahead game. So this will be a fun one.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, we have a fun QB duel when Ole Miss squares off against Oklahoma with Trinidad Chambliss and John Mateer. I have kind of an out-there question that I want to throw at you, though. Who are Florida fans rooting for in this football game?
I think Florida fans right now is rooting for the Sooners so they can make that Lane Kiffin
so they want him to lose.
Transition as easy as possible. They want him to get ran out of Ole Miss versus him walking out the door. But
what do you think of these quarterbacks, though, in this
Two of the best quarterbacks in it. Well, two of the most exciting quarterbacks in the SEC. Both can get it done on the ground and through the air, and got some playmakers around them. This is going to be a good one. Can Jesus Christ, Ole Miss protect the football and protect Chambliss, and then on the flip side, what percent is John Mateer back to being the John Mateer we've seen in the first 4 weeks of the season?
Florida fans want Ole Miss to lose so that if they do hire Kiffin, they do not want him in the postseason. Right? That's the worst case scenario because then they might have to wait. And I don't know if they're going to be willing to show that kind of patience. To the quarterbacks, Trinidad Chambliss was the story of the season earlier. Last week was his first big road game in the SEC. He kind of struggled late in that game. They had 3 3-and-outs to finish the game, could not keep up with Georgia. This is another huge test for Trinidad Chambliss. He's been one of the most productive players in the offensive side of the ball. I'm very, very curious to see how he stacks up against this Oklahoma
You've been hyping him up for the past weeks, and then today, me and Danny are making a little get ready with me in the green room, putting on our makeup, and he's like, I don't know about that Trinidad anymore. I'm like, Danny, you can't back down now.
I still like him, but as the competition has gotten better, he's kind of come back to earth a little bit.
I love that you said putting on our makeup, too.
Well, we had some things. You can go check that out on TikTok. Otherwise, I think 5.5 is a crazy number. Obviously, that's in response to losing to Georgia last week. This is still a team that was up at halftime. This is still a team that was very much in that Georgia game. And that's coming from a Georgia Bulldog. I'm willing to admit that here. So if this spread was being made, this game was being played 2 weeks ago, I don't think it would be this large. I think it would probably be a field goal. So the fact that we can get Ole Miss as 5.5-point dogs in any game, I'm definitely willing to take that here.
But Oklahoma's defense is better than Georgia's.
Yeah, but John Mateer is like, he's not 100%.
Yeah.
But what's kind of interesting, though, David Pollack kind of pouring some cold water on Oklahoma, saying, well, who have they faced offensively? So from our defensive guy, just real quick, what do you think of this OU defense? For real?
They will be challenged on the perimeters of their defense in terms of cornerbacks in the back end. Now, the issue for Ole Miss, can they protect Trinidad Chambliss? Now, quietly, they've done a really good job in terms of protecting their quarterback, giving him a comfortable confine to work from within. If they're able to do that, Trinidad is going to make plays, and not to mention he's a +1 in the running game. I love his ability to run the football, either improvising or QB design play calls, and they will need to lean on that to keep this defense honest. I think there's more pressure on John Mateer than Trinidad Chambliss because John Mateer was supposed to be the Heisman front runner. John Mateer was supposed to be the guy that takes Oklahoma to the next level. Unfortunately, the last 2 games, he's been riding the coattail of the defense. So he has to make plays in this matchup for them to be successful, in my opinion.
For those just tuning in now, real quick, playoff implications in this game?
Yeah, this is basically an Ole Miss must-win for Ole Miss, in my opinion. I've said it before. This team specifically, Missouri is another team specifically in the SEC. You have to go 10-2. There is no room to go 9-3. Bama, Georgia, different schedules. Maybe there's some more wiggle room, but you have to be a 10-2 Ole Miss team, which starts here.
You know who's also in a must-win situation? Us at the desk. We have yet to hit on our parlay pick, you guys. This is the week. Stay with us.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
No. That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
In
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. The power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City A. Superb finish. Oh, that's it. Picks up it.
Unbelievable strike.
And that's surely the score that Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun.
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise,
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Let's get you an injury report here on College Football Pregame, presented by FanDuel. Let's start with LSU linebacker Whit Weeks. He has been ruled out for tonight's showdown in Death Valley against Texas A&M. They'll also be without starting left tackle Tyree Adams, who underwent tightrope surgery on his ankle this week. The Aggies have some injury concerns of their own. They will be without leading rusher Le'Veon Moss for a second straight week. Kickoff is set for 7:30 Eastern. Over in the Big 12, number 24, Arizona State will not have their star wide receiver Jordan Tyson for tonight's game against Houston. Tyson leads the Big 12 in interceptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns this season, but is dealing with a hamstring injury. Our Mike Renner has him ranked as the number 1 wide receiver in the 2026 class. As for the 14th ranked Texas Tech, they are expected to start Will Hammond at quarterback again this week against Oklahoma State. That is per multiple reports. Hammond was under center last week in their loss at Arizona State, with Baron Morton out with a leg injury. Morton is officially listed as questionable for today's game. Want to highlight elsewhere, Texas running back CJ Baxter is off the injury report today for the Longhorns trip to Starkville. He has not played since week 3 because of a hamstring injury, so some good news for Texas. Every week, FanDuel is giving you a 50% profit boost on the biggest college football showdown. That means you can boost your winnings by 50% on the biggest matchup. Download the FanDuel app and bet the big match on campus with a boost right now. Parlay Pick Time, presented by FanDuel. I will start us off, and this is one of those hold your nose and bet it, because I am going North Carolina.
What?
Team total,
no.
20.5. Have they hit this once this season?
Over? They're chalking us already.
No.
Is the goal to win?
They have
the
not.
parlay?
It is. I feel good about this. More so from the Virginia side of things.
You're holding your nose, Emily.
I
feel blindsided.
I feel like it's going to happen. Their offense has looked a lot better. If not for 3 fumbles last week on the road at Cal, they might have won that football game. They might have scored more than 20 points. I think it's happening today.
I will say UVA has allowed 20-plus points their last 4 games.
Exactly.
But it's not against.
They average 30 points a game.
You know what Emily just did to all of us? I watch Family Feud, and you know when someone gives a crazy answer, they're like, good answer, good answer. In the back of their mind.
Except you guys did not clap for me. You were off. All right, move on. All right, next one, Cardell.
I got our first playoff game of the college football season thus far. It's an eliminated game. I got South Florida over Memphis because it's a playoff game for one of these teams. But I got South Florida on this one.
Support
money line.
Money line.
Oh, just money line.
Just
Okay.
money line.
I like it.
Just money.
All right. I'm just going to
We'll leave
take
each
us
other
to
out.
something I know, and that's the ponies. SMU, money line.
Like it.
Simple. It was 3.5. Now they're 5.5-point favorites, which makes sense. Wake Forest is not a good football team. Like they've beaten teams that have fired their coaches, and the ponies are looking a lot better in the second half of the season than the first half.
I'm going to keep mine simple as well. Money line sprinkle, give me Vandy over Mizzou.
Now, we're going to have to work some treasure map magic for ours to work because
What do you have?
Emily has North
so he's gonna
Carolina.
have
I got Virginia winning by 10.5 because I don't trust North Carolina at all against a very good Virginia team. But maybe we can see a lot of points in this one. We can see like a 41-21 game.
I love it. And we'll all be winners. It's hitting this week, guys.
You know,
I'm feeling
sometimes when you hate the parlay, those are the ones that win.
True.
You're
That's
putting
true.
us in situations I wouldn't put myself in, and maybe that's good.
We're going to find out here in a short time because that game is kicking off shortly. Another reminder every week that FanDuel is giving you a 50% profit boost on the biggest college football showdown. Boost your winnings by 50% on the biggest matchup. Download the FanDuel app and bet big match on campus with a boost right now. There is only one thing left to do on this show, and that is pick some games. I'll ask the crew who you got. That's next.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates
That is a rookie mistake.
or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
Would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount Plus.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount Plus.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. The power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway in this massive clash of City On. Superb finish.
Unbelievable strike.
And that's surely the score that tornado. Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun!
Everything South Park. All seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dexter.
Dexter.
What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
This
And the ball is in the net.
is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams.
Yes.
where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount+.
You can't count on Derek's taunt skills.
Oh, Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
Back here on College Football Pregame presented by FanDuel. In the spirit of FanDuel, it's time to make some picks on these games. I have a very important question to ask you, Cardale.
Oh, this is tough.
Who keeps the pig?
Ooh.
Minnesota, Iowa. Who wins?
I think they turned, as of the last 10 years, 10 games, Iowa has 9 of these. I think
That
they
is
get their
true.
10th one in 11
Ooh,
years. I got Iowa.
I do think Iowa wins. I think a fun way from a sports betting perspective to look at this, hear me out. Minnesota team total over 14.5. I understand this is Iowa defense. The only teams that have gone under this number, under the 14.5, is UMass and Wisconsin. And let it be known, those teams could have no defense on the field and they would still go under that number.
I'm taking Iowa. Playing at home is huge. Minnesota has struggled on the road. They're 0-2, a freshman quarterback going into this situation against that defense. I think it's going to be a long day. Give me Iowa.
I got Iowa as well, and I'm not afraid to lay the points.
Wow, we love it. All right, how about BYU at Iowa State? The Cougars are one of 6 undefeated teams left in college football. Does it stay that way?
The whole state of Iowa is happy. Two games, Iowa State. I'm taking Iowa State over BYU.
Yeah, I think everyone wants it to be BYU, and just when it makes sense for BYU to win, that's when you got to think Big 12 vibes. Iowa State's obviously going to win this game and make this whole conference playoff situation a mess.
Defense win championships. Defense will win this ball game. I'm going with the team that has the best defense. That's BYU, only allowing around 15 points per ball game. I like BYU.
No one's respecting BYU.
Exactly.
Maybe I don't even know if they get it after they win this game, but I think BYU wins this game outright. Bear Bachmeier, he's got the naivete of a freshman, doesn't even know what he's doing. He's about to make history. If he goes 8-0, that'll be the first quarterback since Trevor Lawrence to do it as a true freshman at Clemson.
It's absolutely insane, considering the fact that he became the starter back in July and has yet to lose a college football game. Another team was yet to lose this year. We got Texas A&M on the road, Death Valley at night, but they're the favorite in this game against LSU. But what do you think?
And they're my favorite for this pick as well. I got A&M. LSU can't run the ball, too one-dimensional. You can't be one-dimensional playing against this really good A&M defense. And then Marcel Reed and that Concepcion connection is going to be a nightmare for this LSU defense.
You can tell in some of these tougher marquee matchups, I just completely ignore the spread. What I do think will happen either way is we get an LSU team total over 22.5. They are in desperation mode, playing for style points no matter what the spread is, what the score is. I think they will just try to keep running it up here. And Texas A&M allowing 40-plus points in each of their road games this season.
Well, they won't allow 40 tonight.
I'll ask you for 23.
Because LSU offense, they can't score. In the SEC, they rank 12th in points scored, around 25. They have yet to score more than 24 points against a Power 4 opponent. They have struggled mightily in throwing the football, and they can't run the football either. So when you look at what A&M has done, how good their defense has been, you look at Reed as a +1 at the quarterback position. For a half, it's going to be very, very tight. They got to come out swinging and understand it's going to be ebbs and flows, but give me the Aggies to outright win this ball game.
LSU is ranked 20th in the country. They have no business being a top 25 team. They haven't beaten anybody. The win against Clemson does not look very impressive. In fact, I would say it maybe shows you that LSU is not that good of a football team.
They struggled against
considering it wasn't a better win than it was. Cassius Howell leads the SEC in sacks. I think he's going to make it a long night for Garrett Nussmeier. One thing that does travel, rush game and defense. We can talk about the crowd all we want, and if Texas A&M is in long passing yardage situations, watch out, but I don't think that's the case. I like it.
LSU, they're the ugliest 5-2 team in college football.
Hey, they beat Florida, too. Let's go to the matchup in the Music City between Missouri and Vanderbilt. Tigers, Doors, who you got?
You know what? Bo Pabula sounds like a musician. It's going to be music. It's going to be music for the Tigers. I'm taking the Tigers over Vandy.
I think Mizzou, too. I think this is a spot they go in. I appreciate every two cousins, man. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Don't give me that look. What do you want to say?
The more battle-tested team, the more battle-tested quarterback is all coming from Vandy. Give me the Commodores.
Bo Pribs, I don't trust him, the quarterback for Missouri. When they take away Ahmad Hardy, their running back, he really struggles. Yeah. I do think the one thing that'll be interesting, LSU could not stop Vanderbilt's run game last week. If Missouri doesn't do that, I think it's Vanderbilt all day long, and I do think they'll be able to run the football against Missouri.
The other ranked-on-ranked matchup in the SEC, we have Ole Miss at Oklahoma. That game is kicking off in minutes, so give us a pick.
You know, this is the safest one for me. I'm picking Ole Miss with the points. It's the safest bet. I'm taking the points, taking the page out of my two cousins here. But this is going to be an interesting game, but I'm taking Ole Miss plus 5.5.
Ole Miss plus the 5.5 is the move. It's a blessing to get them greater than a field goal spread here.
5.5, roll a dice, go money line. I like Ole Miss as well. I think their offense will find an opportunity to be successful against this outstanding, dominant Sooners defense. And I'm not trusting John Mateer. Something isn't right with him since returning from that injury. Ole Miss.
How's it go? How's it go?
I'm
all by myself over here. I'll take the Sooners, and I will lay the points. Lane Kiffin just woke up Brent Venables in that defense. They are surly, ready to shut down Ole Miss in that offense. I think defense wins the day.
Points.
And I'm laying them.
He laying the points.
Let's remember that.
We put lunch on that.
I was a little nervous we were going to get screenshotted there, but Tanny's got the idea. Okay, we got some good bets going here.
I want in on that.
Guys, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
Let's go watch some college football. How about it? Hey, don't forget, we've got Minnesota at Iowa, 3:30 on CBS. You will see us back here on HQ at 2 o'clock, leading you up to that big-time game. And do not forget, after today's action, lock in with the Cover 3 podcast instant reaction show. Watch live on YouTube or listen wherever you get your podcast. Scan that QR code and save it. You're going to want to watch it. Stay with us here on HQ.
You can't count on accurate expiration dates.
That is a rookie mistake.
Or the kindness of strangers. But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount+.
In the Champions League, every picture tells a story, and every great story
would you believe this?
needs an audience.
It's a really special moment.
The UEFA Champions League, every goal, every game, live on Paramount+.
I called this luncheon to squash the rumors and to offer you a warning. The only difference between me and my husband is I'm meaner.
She owns the company, but I run it. Situations like this have to come to a head before it resolves itself.
So just another day.
Just another day, Pop. I'm definitely gonna have to start drinking again.
Landman, new season streaming November 16th exclusively on Paramount+.
It's so loud in here. Oh, man, this is awesome. That power. Oh, my goodness. What a performance.
They're underway, and there's some massive clash at City On. Superb finish. Mix up.
Unbelievable strike.
And then surely they score that tornado.
Watch Serie A all season long, streaming on Paramount+.
Everything South Park is streaming on Paramount+.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Every character, every story, every season.
That sounds like so much fun.
Everything South Park, all seasons, new episodes, and more. Now streaming on Paramount+.
This could be the greatest opportunity in my life, and it comes with danger.
Well, I bet ain't nobody seen that coming.
Tulsa King, new season, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again. Has to happen.
Surprise,
Dexter. What do you think? Tonight's the night.
Stream every Dexter episode ever, exclusively on Paramount+.
This is the heartbeat of English soccer. Fans with undying loyalty and iconic owners with premier-level dreams. Where one season decides who rises and who falls. The EFL on CBS Sports Network and streaming on Paramount+.
You can't count on Derek's tongue skills.
Tony, I think it hit the ground.
But you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount+.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
I now know why Monty was so stressed.
What's the plan here?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount+.
Today on CBS, the Floyd of Rosedale, Minnesota at Iowa, number 119 in this rivalry. They used to wager an actual hog back in 1935. Now they just play for the Bronze Pig. I don't know what Peter would have to say about that. Of course, there's a lot of Big Ten pride on the line, too. I have seen that trophy in person. It is just as epic as it looks in the photos. But only one team can secure the pig, and you can watch it all go down this afternoon on CBS. Kickoff is set for 3:30, also streaming on Paramount Plus. You see the big figure there at the top. That is PJ Fleck, and we are so excited to welcome him on the show. Coach, how are we feeling today?
Doing elite. Game day here in Iowa City, so we're doing great. Thanks for having us on the show, Emily.
I love it. So excited to talk about this rivalry. Of course, anytime you're playing for a Bronze Pig, that is spectacular. But maybe pretend that we are those guys in the locker room. What are you telling them today ahead of this game about what it means?
Well, first of all, it's the 119th meeting, right? So you get to be a part of this great tradition, as well as all the rivalries that are going on today. You're a small piece of it, but you get a chance to make your mark on it. There was 118 before you. There's going to be 119 after you.